And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I feel like I should be wearing a black suit and have a very solemn expression on my face because today, folks, I am going to preside over a funeral. Today we are looking at If Only I Had, the game born out of hilarious situations. This is a game from Victory Point Press. Now, Victory Point Press started out with some pretty low quality games, but has since really improved the quality of games and put out some absolutely stellar games. If you haven't played some of them, you really need to try them out. Well, this is a subcategory called General Nonsense, and this is the attempt at a party game. Notice the emphasis on the word attempt. Let's take a look at it. There are two decks of cards in the game, a scenario deck and an If I Only Had deck. Four of these If I Only cards are passed out to each person. One person's chosen to be the first victim. That person says, "Help, I'm caught in a political debate." Each other player plays a card face down. So let's say there's 6 players. So we mix these up and it says, "I'm caught in a political debate. If I only had a bathrobe. If I only had an under-drilled bowling ball. If I only had last year's calendar. If I only had a humanoid monkey-like co-pilot. If I only had a crushed bottle cap. And if I only had a half-eaten feather boa." These are all pretty terrible choices. I would say, well, I'm caught in a political debate. Maybe I would use the bowling ball to bash the heads of the people in with the debate. And then go bowling. That's probably a pretty terrible choice and pretty terrible reasoning. So I picked that one. That person says, yay, and gets a point. Each other person then makes a play for why they think. They say, well, look, if you're in a bathrobe, no one's going to want to talk to you. It will make them uncomfortable. And the guy with last year's calendar says, hey, you can act confused and say, what year is this again? Or is someone running for president in 2012? And that's a way to get out of it. A humanoid monkey-like co-pilot, the conversation would revolve around him rather than the political debate. A crushed bottle cap, the guy says, well, you could just flick that at both of them. A half-eaten feather boa, the person who put that card out looks at you blankly because they have no good reason. I say, okay, that was a good argument. I like the bathrobe theory. So you pick that, and that guy goes, yay, he gets a point also. And if you're playing with 8 or more players, you can hand out 2 points. You'll pick 2 cards of the cards. And the next person becomes the victim. And that person says, help, my car is making terrible noises. Or maybe help, I've been kidnapped by ninja. Or help, I'm on hold with my insurance policy. Or help, I woke up in a jail cell. Or help, I need to bury a body. And the other cards that people will be playing on these is stringless yo-yo, a balloon animal, a foam dart gun, a trampoline, a broken flashlight, a chinchilla, an ounce of courage, a leaky canteen, and many, many more. The first person to get to 8 points is the winner. Why, yes, Margaret, this is a bad game in so many ways. All right, first of all, the production. Wow, that's horrible. Okay, come on, Victory Point Games. I like you guys, and you guys have really improved. This is like a total step backwards. It's like, I could have got a whole bunch of white cards and written the stuff on them. What's the difference? You put a border on some of them. It's all black and white, blasé, boring, and there's a stick man drawn on some of them. But the beauty is the simplicity of the art. Get out of here now. Okay, there is no simplicity here. It's not good. It's not quality. People thought it was a prototype. Every single person thought it was a prototype. Okay, you say, but that doesn't matter if the game is good, right? Yeah. So, here's what's interesting. This is what the back of the box says. It says, however, unlike most games of this genre, okay, so they do note that there are other games of this genre, right? Apples to apples. Any game where you put a card in the middle, everyone tries to match it. There are lots of games like that, and I don't mind people copying that mechanic, but then add something. They say, in this one, you get to defend your answer. Now, wait a minute. Who are these people playing with? In any game, Dixit, apples, apples, faces, any game where you have an answer in the middle, I'm always defending my answer, or someone else's answer, or whatever. You know, it's not like I have to really do something unique and unusual in this game. They make you defend it, but I'm already defending it in the other games. There's not a huge variety in the cards in this game. You will often get a handful of cards that don't make sense in the situation at all, and you can make some ridiculous story, and everyone says, that's the point of the game, Vasel. Yeah, I know, but I could have made that ridiculous story with apples to apples, and with these other games too. This just failed on every level. Very, very poorly, and I'm sorry for that, because I'm sure that they had a good idea. The good idea is, in this situation, if I only had this. Yes, that's a funny idea, but it needed to be progressed better. In a game that actually had good components, in a game that had more cards, and more variety amongst them, and a better designed game. Because as a party game, this feels like someone just changed a rule to apples. That's really what it feels like. No good. Don't get it.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!